no one expected that horrendous news would come from one of BTS's members, Jungkook. On a seemingly ordinary day for the South Korean entertainment industry, a surprise announcement suddenly appeared. Jungkook stopped all his personal activities, including his solo projects, for the sake of one thing, for the sake of Jimin. Jungkook's decision to stop all activities in favor of Jimin not only shocked fans, but also made the entire K-pop entertainment industry seem to stop for a moment to realize how deep the friendship is behind BTS's magnificent stage. Amid hectic schedules and immense pressure as a global artist, not many idols dare to take emotional decisions that risk professional consequences. But Jungkook, with his gentle firmness, chose to be by his best friend's side when the world seemed so quiet to Jimin. The people around them realized that something had changed since Jimin completed his military service. The cheerful faces that used to adorn the stage and the glass screen are no longer as warm as they used to be. Even on some occasions, Jimin seemed to look down longer, staring blankly at the sky, or sitting pensive as others laughed. For most people, this may be just ordinary fatigue. But for Jungkook, it was an inner call to action. A source close to the investigation said Jungkook did not wait for the agency's orders or advice from the manager. He arranged everything himself. In silence, he called his team and said briefly, "Stop everything. I have to go to Jimin's house." In a matter of hours, his entire daily schedule was canceled. Photo shoots with famous brands, collaborations with American musicians, to filming commercials, everything was dismissed without delay. It was a form of dedication that left many in the industry flabbergasted. Upon arrival at Jimin's house, there were no parties or dramatic hugs. Jungkook just stood in front of the door, carrying a small bag of instant ramen, 2 cans of cold cola, and a portable speaker. He sat on the living room floor without a word, playing the old songs they used to hear when they were trainees. Songs that held laughter, tears, and hope when they were nobody. Jimin didn't react at first, just looking at Jungkook with a flat gaze. But then, tears fell slowly from the corners of his eyes. For 2 whole days, Jungkook did not leave Jimin's house. They don't talk about the future, they don't talk about comebacks, they don't talk about rumors. They just shut up, occasionally chuckle, cook together, rewatch old variety shows, and sleep on the same couch as the trainees. For Jungkook, it was the most meaningful time. "I don't need to save the world. I just want to make sure she knows she's not alone," Jungkook told his manager. The ARMY's reaction was remarkable. Hashtags like #ThankYouJungkook and #ProtectJimin instantly dominated global social media. Many fans wrote tearful open letters, conveying how Jungkook's actions have reminded the world that celebrities are human too. They also need emotional support, not just recognition and praise. Even the big media is silent. The New York Times wrote a special article titled "True Brotherhood in K-Pop," how Jungkook paused the world for Jimin, while the BBC called it one of the most heartfelt moments in modern boy band history. Even overseas artists like Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello shared supportive comments on social media, expressing their admiration for the strength of the relationship at BTS. Jimin, after a few days of disappearing from the public spotlight, finally uploaded one simple photo on Weverse: 2 empty cups of ramen and 2 chopsticks leaning over a bowl. Without words, without explanation. But the ARMY knew it was Jimin's way of thanking Jungkook for saving him in a moment of silence. The next day, a personal message from Jimin again thrilled fans. "There are nights when I'm not sure I can greet the morning, but as it turned out, someone quietly turned on the light and sat with me until the morning came itself." Those words were enough to describe the depth of Jimin's feelings and the power of love that didn't need to be spoken out loud. Many fans admitted they cried when they read the message. Not a few also began to share stories about their own friends, creating a wave of empathy that is rarely seen in a virtual world that is usually full of noise. Meanwhile, HYBE gave full support to Jungkook's actions. They stated that they will always prioritize the mental well-being of the artists and support all decisions aimed at maintaining solidarity among BTS members. BTS is family. And in the family, "One happiness is more important than 1,000 schedules," said the representative of the agency. Now, as Jungkook's activities begin to slowly return, he still refuses to answer media questions about this incident. For him, it was not for public consumption. It is a part of private life, a part of affection that does not need to be commercialized. However, from her calmer gaze and warm smile that returned, the public knew that something very important had happened, and that made everything feel more human. Jungkook not only shows that he is a talented artist, but also a human being who chooses to be present when the people he cares about most need him, even without being asked. And perhaps, in this fast-paced world, what Jungkook is doing is a reminder that sometimes, the best way to save someone is to just sit quietly by their side. And now, Jimin is slowly coming back to shine. Not because the world asked him to rise, but because someone came and lit a small candle in the dark of the night. It's not a fictional story. That's a true story. It was the unconditional love of a best friend named Jungkook. The silence that had enveloped Jimin's house for several days slowly turned into warmth. Although there was no official announcement, fans noticed that changes were starting to happen. They noticed small signs. Jimin's slight smile on the CCTV camera upon entering the HYBE building, his gentle greeting to fans through a short live, and of course, Jungkook's constant presence like a loyal guard. Behind the scenes, close BTS friends revealed that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is much more than just stage partners. They've been through a lot together, from failed auditions, training injuries, debut pressures, to world glory. However, it is precisely in moments of silence like this that their relationship is tested and strengthened. One senior staffer even said, "I've been working in the industry for over 2 decades, and I've never seen an idol stop his career in order to accompany his friend who is losing his spirit of life." Time goes on, and although everyone still prefers not to speak directly to the media, the message conveyed is strong enough. The fans began putting together a timeline of what happened, putting together snippets of videos, voice recordings, hidden uploads, and stories from food delivery men who happened to come to Jimin's house while Jungkook was there. The virtual world is like coming back to life with a deep sense of love. One of the stories that went viral came from an online motorcycle taxi driver. He claimed to deliver food to Jimin's house, and when he arrived, the door was opened by Jungkook, who was only wearing a large hoodie and training pants. The driver admitted that he did not recognize who he was at the time, but what moved him was the small writing on the door. "Today we eat to survive. Tomorrow we eat to live." The writing was regarded by many in the army as a message from Jungkook to Jimin. The message was later made into a favorite quote, even printed in the form of stickers and merchandise by fans around the world. A simple sentence that contains a deep meaning of hope, struggle, and an unusually strong silent love. After 2 weeks of calm, the BTS official account uploaded a new photo. Jimin and Jungkook sitting on the edge of a lake,